And how many of you were here in the previous lectures? Just, okay. Bado. Okay. So, thank you guys for being here tonight. I will start, as always, with a couple of questions. How many of you have been at Startup Day? Okay. Good number. And just to know something more about your background, how many of you are studying economics? Okay. Engineering? Okay. Medicine or biology? One. Literature? Humanities in general? Okay. Law also? Okay. Physics, science? Okay, sorry. Okay, awesome. And how many of you want to create a company? Okay. Awesome. So, tonight we will try to figure out how to start building a startup. Okay? Hello. So, I'm not a founder. This is the Founder Stories Roadshow, but I'm not a founder, so my colleagues made you a joke. No, I'm joking. Why I'm here? I work for Almacube since a couple of years ago. And I'm responsible for several activities, but my main focus is about the startup incubation program. So we help companies, very, very young companies, to start and make their first steps in the market. Okay, so they come with an idea or a little more, and we help them start to create a good business model. We will see what I mean with business model, and then being ready to grow their company. So day by day, in these 2 years, every day I was with startups trying to help them, and this evening, I hope I will finish this evening. So tonight, this evening, I will try to provide you all the main suggestions or experiences that we had in these 2 previous years and in all the studies that we made in the previous years. Okay. So, what the hell is a startups? I guess that with our friends in the previous meetings, in the previous lectures, you have somehow figured out what is a startup, what it means to be a founder, how it could be difficult. So yes, in order to create a great company, of course you have to have a great team, a great market to refer, a great idea. Okay, so these are the basics. Tonight we will try to figure out what is the approach that you can have, that we suggest to have in order to create a company. Okay, starting from a great team, a great market, and a great idea. Okay. Where is the? Here. So please interrupt me whenever you want and ask me whatever you want. Okay. So let's start. Let's start from this question. So why is possible that startups succeed in the world today? So imagine 3-4 people working in a little table. How can it be possible that this little thing in the world can beat multinational companies that have more than 50% of the market share. Okay? It's a very good question. I don't know, but we'll try to figure out. So, everybody, if you know Blockbuster? Yes? So, Blockbuster was in the 90s maybe the best, the biggest, not retailer, but the renter of DVDs and VHS movies in general. Okay? 10 years later, Netflix. I mean, imagine all of you know what is Netflix. Everybody 10 years later know what is Netflix, but nobody is able no more to buy stuff from Blockbuster. Okay? And Netflix started from this kind of website, you can say today, in the end of 90s. Maybe you can see, but their first service was like this. So from the web you could rent DVDs or book DVDs, and Netflix will ship them to your home. Okay, so not a great user experience. Okay, but some so Blockbuster say, okay, do your job. We don't care much with this little niche of mad people that want to rent DVDs from the web. Today, Netflix is, I don't know, one of the biggest players in the movie industry, and Blockbuster failed. How is possible? 3 people, a bunch of money, and a bunch of customers. Same story with Barnes & Noble, not so famous like Blockbuster, but somebody of you maybe heard about it. It's like our Feltrinelli, you can say, so a book retailer, okay? And they were the biggest player in this industry in the US. I don't know if today they failed. I don't think that they failed, but for sure they are far more little than Amazon, Amazon.com, that everybody of you, of course, you know about it. How is it possible that a person in a, we can say an office, but I don't know if I would define it like that, with just a PC, in the 90s started to build something that today is 10 times, maybe 100 times bigger than this company. This company that in the first years of the 2000s refused to acquire Amazon for a good deal. They refused to buy Amazon because they say, I don't care about your little market, I don't care about your strange business model of selling stuff by the web. We sell millions of books every year, so we don't need you. If you want, we can buy it, but for, you know, just little money. Today, maybe 80% of books in the US are sold by this guy. Okay? Nobody cares about Barnes & Noble. How is possible? I don't know. Or maybe I have some ideas. So, unfortunately we don't have a lot of time and I have a lot of slides. So usually I interact much more with you guys, but tonight we have time constraints. It's true, Giacomo? Yeah. So, yes, I can just asking you what you think about it. I'm so interested about it, but we will do it when we will meet again, I hope now. Okay, so why startup can succeed? Of course, you must have a very great idea. Even more, you have to do you have to have a very great team and do very great execution. But there is this point. There is a point that not frequently people talk about. That is, we took this from the quote of Clayton Christensen, an Harvard researcher and professor. That the reason why startups have a chance to overtake industry is that they start from very small and desperate niches, okay, market niches. So from people that nobody cares about, just like Blockbuster didn't care about people that was 100 kilometers away from the nearest Blockbuster store, for example. Or like Barnes and Noble that didn't care about people that were 50 kilometers away from the nearest city, okay? If you try to see the story, the history of all the startups that today are big companies like Facebook, Amazon, Apple, also Microsoft, they all started from a very specific and very little market niche. Okay, then we will see better this part. Why is this important? Because if today I start, for example, I'm Netflix. I try to, I want to enter the DVD rent market, and I just try to sell my service, a very interesting service because you can rent the DVD from the web, and they try to propose it to everybody. So I go in front of Blockbuster and they say, no, Blockbuster, use Netflix, is better. Why people has to care about Netflix? They have Blockbuster is more fashion. They can do their business better because they know from years how to do that. So they try to focus to a very small niche where nobody cares. So people that is very far from Blockbuster store, and so they can start. They go where nobody goes because the market is too small, big companies don't care about, but this little market niche eventually will grow, okay? Like all the web-related startups, the web had grown a lot, okay? Today we have other trends, we have artificial intelligence, we have all the social innovation and environmental-based trends. So startups start from a very little niche that in the years will grow a lot. And when it is small, is the best time to start because nobody cares and you can monopolize this little niche. And organically it will grow, okay? So, not a blue ocean. Somebody of you that study economics maybe heard about the blue ocean strategy. But not an ocean. Let's focus on a very specific little niche. The smaller the better, because nobody will care about it. You will have desperate customers that will accept very prototyped based products, and will recognize you a very high price because they are desperate. Nobody cares about them. Okay, so start from somebody that is in a very desperate situation. Some example. This is the first product that Palm Pilot, that PayPal built. Do you know PayPal? Yeah. Okay. It's a web-based payment and a secure payment. But they started building this device that would allow you to make transaction, but just with who has had this pilot, okay? So they didn't start from web. They started from device-based transactions. They didn't very well. Why? Because there were a lot of other competitors. They were in a very red ocean, we can say, okay, where you have just paper money, bonifico in English is I don't know, check. Also, you had several competitors, okay. But today, PayPal is a multinational company and is growing very well year on year. So why they succeed? They start going well when they focus on maybe less than 1% of the market with a very specific need and very specific problems. They started from the eBay sellers, okay, that at the start of in 2001, I guess, it was not like today, okay, it was a very small or medium-sized company. So they started from there because they every day imagine the mind of an eBay seller. Every day he has to convince people to buy online. 20 years ago, not today, 20 years ago where this was not common like this today. So you have to convince every day people to make transaction on the web. Otherwise, you will not be able to provide food and wealth to your family. Okay? So this was a desperate situation, the perfect situation in which to pose yourself and try to help them and try to build a solution for them, specifically for them. So they forgot this pilot that nobody cared about, is even more costly and less scalable, okay? And they focus just on trying to help these guys, okay? Then eventually they came from sellers to buyers, because also buyers got in touch with PayPal, and today everybody uses PayPal, okay? But they started from someone that has fire in their ears, okay? So the concept of the early adopters, so these people that has a very desperate situation and want something now, today, even if it's weird and just a prototype, they want it because they have to stop the fire that they have in their ears. And these are early adopters. These are where startups start, okay? And without this very concrete group of people, a very solid group of customers that help you start, I can't find any example of successful startups, okay? Because no startups start from a very big market. It's just not possible to compete with the company that has millions of billions of zillions of dollars and smart people, and they know how to do business. They know everything about the bureaucratic issues, about the market, how to sell the product. They know everything more than you. So it's just not possible to start with the idea to say, okay, I have this very great idea, I will start to sell it to everybody. Let's brainstorm because this idea has to be good for everybody. Okay, no, it's the opposite. Brainstorm because this idea has to be the perfect one. We have to build the perfect program just to 20 people. Okay? If your market is about 20 people that make 1 million, 2 million a year, you have a great market to start. Okay? So, here adopters are very particular. Then, when you start and grow with early adopters, you will find later, you will find also the early majority, the the so-called early majority, late majority, and laggards. So when you become a mature company, then of course you will have to change your product. Today PayPal is for everybody, Amazon is for everybody, Apple is for everybody. So, but they changed it. They changed it with their market. So today, why I have to do the perfect product for everybody? It costs too much. It's not possible to build it. I just start from scratch with a prototype version for desperate people. Then we will figure out how to build the perfect product, but with a lot of resources, credibility, know-how, and so on and so forth. So this is one of the mantra of the startup world. Think big, start small, move fast. And this is why, okay? We have to Jeff Bezos started from books, okay, in Amazon, but he had already the vision of selling everything. Okay, today they sell everything. But he started from just one product for just maybe 20 people, 20 customers. Okay? And then go fast. Just build what your market needs. Don't build a perfect product. Build the perfect product for your customers that you are serving just now. So if you start from early adopter, just build the product that they need. Nothing more. Because you have to go fast, because this is a Gauss curve. Here it's difficult, but to monopolize all this area is much more bigger and is much more difficult. So you have to go very, very, very fast. Okay, so very quickly, why a startup is completely different from a mature company. So we have just seen something now. Let's go more in detail. When you are a startup, you have to go from 0 to 1. So from nothing, just an idea, to your first sales. Okay, it's very difficult. This is a completely different job compared to go from 100 million customers to 20% more. Okay, you have to figure out how to make something that people want, that your customer wants, compared to sell it every day and grow revenues. Okay, are two separate jobs. One is more R&D, we can say, and the other one is more like selling. Okay, Steve Jobs' everyday jobs was to sell his company. A lot of main stage presentations. You also saw Elon Musk some days ago. His main job is to sell his company to the stock market, sell his product to customers. But when they started, they had to focus on R&D, but it's not an R&D in a classical way, we will see. It's an R&D that also involve sales activity, of course. Because you have to test if your idea is good, and you can test it if you don't try to sell it. So we can think at a company with like a very great and performing vehicle, okay, and Steve Jobs riding it, or Elon Musk that ride this very performing engine, and the startup is a team that is creating and optimizing and researching the best set for this engine. And then, when you find it, you will change job and you will just drive. Okay, invest in it like there's not tomorrow. Okay. So as I said, this was unfortunately Steve Jobs selling his company, but they started Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak just from a very, very prototyped version of a laptop, of a PC. This is the Apple one. It didn't seem it doesn't seem a personal computer, but actually they sold it like a personal computer, and they made their first 50 customers. Okay, and this first we can say market test, okay, convinced Steve Jobs and Wozniak to continue invest their time and money in the company, but also convinced some investors. So they gained their first $200K of investment, and then they will ready to start and grow the company. The next year we will have we have the Apple II and then Apple III and so on and so forth. Here they were just a couple of we can say mechanical engineers building their crafting a new engine, and there you have someone that is invest and sell and ride every day a very good engine, okay, very good vehicle. Same thing for Facebook. Today is a multi-billion company, multi-billion-dollar company in all over the world, a lot of brands. But they started with just a value proposition, so just a social network for just students in just one school, Harvard. And then they spread all over the Ivy League universities in North America. And then every day, you know, what is the history is, but they started from a very little and specific market niche, okay? Just a couple of thousand people. Today, they can sell something to everyone in the world, billion of people. Imagine if they started with, okay, we want to sell our social network to everybody. Perfect social network for everybody. A lot of social networks were on the market in their years, and they were trying to sell to everybody. Today nobody remember about that. Okay? They started from just one specific need. Same things for Airbnb. And this picture is the founder with their one of their first customers. When you are small, you have an advantage compared to very big companies. You can know very well your customers. You can build a long story with your customers, and they will help you grow forever. It's also a kind of math. If you create a base of very in-love people, in-love customers, okay, they will spread the word. They will talk to their friends, to their colleagues about you, and you will don't have to do anything to grow. Okay. Of course, you will invest in order to grow even more. But if you have something that a bunch of people love, you will for sure grow without do any marketing activities, any communication activities. Okay. So again, in the startup world, but in the business world, we call what the goal is for a startup to build this engine, okay, this performing engine to ride. This performing engine to ride is called business model, okay. So the business model of Apple is to build and sell personal computers, okay. They sell other stuff. We can synthesize this in that. And this involves a lot of variables, okay, so what is my target customer, what are the best channels to reach my customers, what is the cost structure of my business, what is the revenue structure of my business, how I engage with my customers, Okay, how I do resell, cross-sell, okay, with my customers. Who are my key partners? What are the key metrics of my business models? And so on and so forth. And you guys, when you start to create your startups, you have to figure out all these variables and create the perfect mix in order to create the best engine before to invest a lot of money in it and grow your business. How to create it? So how to create something people love. Okay? It's very simple, very easy recipe for do very great startups. I'm joking, it's not easy, but you have just to talk a lot to your users if you don't know them. Build what they need. Remember what they need, what your early adopter needs. Okay, not everybody, but just the most desperate ones. And then continue to iterate this process. So let's shape a product and let's gather feedbacks about that, improve the product, take feedbacks and so on and so forth with this. Okay? The fastest you do this and the more probability of success you have. Okay? So, all the startup journey, we can say that it's composed by two main phases. The first one is to create something people love, actually, and the second one, as we said, is to grow, to just invest in it and acquire a lot of customers. But a lot of people, a lot of startups, the majority, we can say, that year. So if you look at the statistics, you have something like 94%, 95% of startups that fail. Okay, and the majority of that fails because they didn't talk to their users, they didn't iterate fast, or they didn't have the team that was able to do that, was not able to build the product maybe, or they maybe used, you know, when you are in a corporate, when you are Amazon today, if you want to build a product, you just made a great business plan, create a team of engineers, start build features, and then in several months you will ship a good product. But when you are a startup, you can't do this. Okay? You don't have 6 months just for know that you are in the 95% of failed startups. Okay? So you invest maybe a couple of days or a couple of weeks. You create the quickest minimum viable product that you can in order to stop the fire in the hairs of your customers. If it works, okay, good. Let's improve it. If it doesn't work, okay, we failed, but we failed fast and with cheap money. Okay, and then you can start again. And in 6 months, eventually, you will create a very good product. So let's see again the process more in detail. When you have an idea, I suggest you to try to understand or to brainstorm and figure out who can be your early adopter. Okay? So let's make an example. What's your idea? If you have an idea, who has an idea? Don't be shy. Everybody has very weird ideas. You of course have ideas better than mine when I had some. So an idea?
Idea un po' inglese. It's a weird idea. I'm trying to build with some of my friends basically an assistant for music production.
Okay.
So that's the
Okay, and why is it different from other assistant for music production?
Well, because basically there's no other assistant for music production.
Okay. So, imagine all the producers in the world.
What?
Imagine all the producers in the world. Where you have to start, in your opinion? Who is in desperation because he don't have an assistant for his work?
I think that a lot of producers start with the software, but don't really have the knowledge of music theory in general. So it's not that easy for the, let's say, young producers to build proper melodies and harmonies and structures. So having an assistant that helps you on that part can make your creative process way more snappy and can help you make music faster, easily, and in a more fluid way.
Okay. So you will start from someone who worked a lot with music, who started maybe not a long time ago, and he don't have music basics, music theory basics.
Yes, but at the same time, I think that it would be also a great thing for people, for big producers to try out.
For big producers, okay.
Yeah, like having big producers as early adopters can be a great, I think, way to introduce the thing to other people, I think.
Okay. So you think the desperate people, the desperate customer is a big producers with not great basic theories.
Exactly.
You can say it?
Exactly.
That? Okay, awesome. So you have defined your early adopter, suppose.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Now let's try to find it. Let's try to find these guys and start to sell them something today. Okay? Maybe it's not possible in your mind because I don't know how you imagine this solution. Maybe it's a software based.
Yes.
Okay, but you have to create it, to invest time and money in build this software.
Yes.
And maybe in some months and with a lot of investment, you will have something to test.
Yes.
Okay, but today we just want to stop their hairs, the fire in their hairs, and so maybe we can I don't know. We can just try to think about the problem, okay, not the solution. So they have this problem, how can I solve it? Okay, I can solve it with a software, with a, I can make music lectures for him on the web or physically, or I can just call him and help him touch the right buttons, for example. I don't know, but let's try to figure out the quickest one, the quickest way in order to solve this problem and understand if it's care, if it's the right ear adopter, if it's a problem for him, if it's the biggest problem for him, and if it wants to pay for our solution. Okay. So generally speaking, the early adopters, so the best people you can sell is yes, someone who has the desperation for the problem you want to solve, and they already know that, okay, that it's not mandatory, that you know that you need something, okay. The best person is the best customer is someone that know that he has this problem, and also maybe the best way is to find someone that is active in find a solution for his problem. Okay, so maybe you can search, you can look for your perfect customers in some I don't know, music producers blog where and you look for melody and keywords that eventually lead you to someone that is actually this time searching for this solution, and nobody care to him. Okay. And then when you find it, when you find him, sorry, just get to know him and everybody that is in his network. Of course, you have to find, to contact him, and to talk with him if you want to know. Okay? Just some practical suggestions. You can find them. Today we have LinkedIn, social network. We can just write to somebody on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Okay? If I want to sell Sand Castle ebook, so ebooks to create sand castles. It's a real example. Somebody succeeded in that, so everybody can. You can just type for sand castle in Twitter and find people that tweet about the sand castle of their children, and then write a message to them and say, "Oh, I've seen that you are in love with the sand castle. I am too, and we are creating this ebook. Can I have just some feedbacks? Do you want to know something more about that?" Okay, and we will find. Maybe it's not a great idea to create this ebook. Maybe it is, but just prepare yourself for a low success rate, because, as we said at the start, we are just looking for a very, very, very specific and a little niche at the start, okay? And so, if I try to sell or to propose my idea or my product to 100 persons, maybe just one or two will respond, okay? But the idea then is to understand what these two people has in common, and then find other 100 like them, okay? 100 eBay sellers, 100 people that are in love with the literature and are 100 kilometers far from the nearest city and sell them books through Amazon. Okay? Okay, then once we find them, we contact them. As I said, we can type, we can send a message on the social network, or we can also send an email or make a phone call. And here, just a very simple approach. You are looking for desperate people, okay? You want to filter all the 99% people that are somehow interested or not very interested in. So, if you are desperate, you will care something, even if it is a very simple message for a Gmail account, okay? Otherwise, natural filter is set up, okay? So just, hello, my name is, okay? I'm solving this problem, okay? For this kind of people. What about to talk and do you want to give me your feedbacks about it the first time? The second time, do you want to buy my solution? Even if it is a prototype one, but if someone is desperate, he will buy, okay? Desperate is good in English. Desperate. Okay, then, talk with them, just a couple of suggestions on how to do that, okay? Remember that your goal is to learn, okay? To learn what's the perfect engine, okay? The perfect business model before to grow it, okay? So you're not selling just because you want to have some a couple of $1,000, okay, in your pocket, but you're selling because you're testing if your business model is good enough, okay? At the start, you will not sell anything. I hope you will do usually you will not sell anything, but you will understand something and you will improve and you will arrive with some improvements to sell the first product, the first service, understand even better, and then try to scale this business model that you have in the meantime created. Okay? So it's all about learning. Okay? It's all about a startup is like a group of researchers that are building or looking for a good business model, like a researcher in a scientific lab are just making tests and iteration on how to editing DNA, for example. So we have to learn if what's the specific problem that I'm solving, who are my hero adopters, and are my hero adopters paying for this solution? And then another suggestion: we as a human, we are naturally inclined to talk about ourselves, about our ideas, but nobody cares. Nobody cares if Nicolas has some problems today. You are caring just about you, about am I learning something, okay, about your problem. So use the same approach with your customers. Don't talk about you. Don't talk about your idea. Nobody cares. Don't talk about even your product at the beginning. Just talk about the problem of your customers and about your customers, and you will learn a lot. Okay? Then I will share the slide with you guys, so I will go a little faster because we don't have much time. You will find some suggestions about how to interact and what kind of question you can ask. Okay? Then the question is, when I stop to ask and do this kind of first discovery, and they start to just sell, it's not easy to say when, but this quit can help us understand it. So you are done interviewing customers when you can bet $100 and you know what the answer to this question is. So when you know very, very well your customers, you can go and sell. You can even train your friends and your colleagues on how to sell to them. Okay, and then you can scale it. So we have a pretty good understanding. We know pretty well our customers. Okay, we know the problem. We know who is the hero adopter. We know the solution. Okay, just try to test our solution. Okay, so our first prototype is just Word. Okay, we can say, okay, this is your problem. What about a software that AI-based that provide you with this suggestion of how to do a melody, a great melody? What do you think about it? And then we'll test if it resonates with him. Then you will ask him to pay you, and payment is not just cash, maybe it's an action. So go online and just subscribe on my landing page, and you will see if it pays this little currency, for example. Then you can provide a demo. You can also do something more useful. For example, you will start to you pay a musician teacher, and you say to the musician teacher to phone call him and to help him build his music. Okay, it's something similar. It's a prototype, but then you will have to pay, and you will test if it's the right person, and if it cares about the problem, if it pays about it. Okay? And in doing so, you will have tested a lot of variables of your business models, the channels, where I can find them, who is my target customer, the cost structure, the revenue structure, and a lot of stuff that you didn't have the opportunity to learn if you just stayed in a laboratory or in an office doing your software for 10 months, okay? And then ship it and learn that it wasn't the right feature set, but and other stuff that we can neither imagine. Okay, then measure it. Do they buy? Do they make these actions that I asked them to do? Do they talk about it to their colleagues and friends? Maybe yes, maybe no, maybe 10% do that, but I just need a 50% conversion rate in order to have my business model be profitable. So let's improve. We gather some feedbacks. Let's improve. Let's add. Yes, the musician teacher is good, but also we need a very great tutorial that help them get in touch with each other. I don't know. And then you will try it again and again and again, and then you will have the perfect solution, the perfect business model, perfect, a profitable one at least, and then you will say, okay, do I have to scale it with a software, or is it good to just pay other 20 teachers before to build this software? I don't know, but you will have a profitable business model. Okay, and in this process, just optimize for how much can I learn with this specific test that I'm making. Okay, go for 80% improvement. Don't try to optimize and go to 10% conversion to 12%. It's a phase where you have a very weird rock, and when somebody do a statue, a rock statue, statua? Una statua? Statue? Una statua. You will start with very unprecise kicks, and just then, when you have a good figure, you will start to refine it and to optimize it in the very details. Okay? I hope you understand this kind of. In Italian is better. Okay, summarizing steps for building a very great start. Start talking with your customers about their problems, and then understand if your solution can be the solution for these very desperate people. Try to build something that they can engage with, just words, prototypes, I don't know. The quicker the better. Test the solution with them. Does it work? If it works, go on. Just try to sell it. If you sell to one person, try to sell to 10 person, then to 100 person. You don't have to be scalable at the start. Just be scalable for provide solution to the next level. So if you are scalable for 1, 2, 3 people, just plan how to be scalable for 20 people, not to 1 billion people. Okay? And this is a suggestion, especially for engineers, software engineers. Okay? Does it work? Yes, or maybe it not works. It doesn't work very well. So try it. Okay, if it works, try it with the 10 more customers. But if it not works, just start again. Okay, test again, try to understand better, and then improve. Okay. Usually, you will have to do this cycle 20-30 times. Okay, before to find a good business model. It means that if I take 1 month to create a prototype and to improve each time my solution, okay, it will take 30 months to just start to grow my startups. Okay, 30 months are a lot. Okay, without money, without investors, with your family saying you, what are you doing? Okay, so take care about the velocity. Okay, start small but grow fast. Take this cycle time in a week base, if possible. A couple of days, even better. Okay. And when I know if it works, so when you find a business model, a profitable one, this is the chimera of the startup world. Okay, it's named the product market fit, and a lot of people described it. But a great description of product market fit is one of Andreessen Horowitz, is one of the main guru of Silicon Valley. Okay, he helped to create the first very great internet browsers, Netscape, and also today is one of the biggest investors of startups. And they say, I don't know how to define product market fit, but you will recognize it because if you have product market fit, you will just have a lot of customers in front of your door and trying to buy everything that you ship every day. You will not have even time to sleep because you have to sell, because a lot of people want to buy. Okay, and this is the graph about a startup, and you can see here the accesses of the website. Okay, so they have some peaks here for PR activities, basically. So when they have some good article on blogs, on other websites and journals. Okay, but after each great peak, you have you come back. Okay, it means that people come to your website, but it's not so interested about the product. They didn't come again. They didn't talk about your product to their customers. Okay, but then, and here they did a lot of experiments, a lot of they changed features, they changed the kind of approach of selling, kind of turning customers, and then after more than 1 year, whole the situation changed. Here you have, of course, product market fit, okay? Because you start to grow organically. They didn't invest any money in this growth. It was just another PR activity, okay? But there, people come back. People talk about the product to their customers, to their friends and colleagues, and so you can grow without anyone. Okay? Of course, they invested a lot of money then, and today Weebly is a very great company, or maybe they sold the company to another greater one. But if you, I will share the slide. Here you have a web link to a YouTube video where the founder of this company will tell you the history of his company and how to build a product market. Okay, and he will just say better than me his history. So we are at the end of this speech. So let's just make some step back and see the picture from outside. This is the life cycle of a company. So we can say that users or revenues or market share is growing, okay, during time. And we can say that we will go from an uncertainty and unpredictable word, contest, we can say, to a predictable one. And this is the variable that divides the startup world to the company world. Okay? So Lamborghini, Facebook, Apple, they know exactly how to sell their product, how to build it. Okay? Startups that are here, they don't know it very well, but when they know, they will start to grow. Maybe it's more here, the uncertainty line. Okay? So you have to deal with uncertainty. You don't know what you will have, what product, how the product will be when you will be here. Okay? You have to deal with it. You can plan like companies. You can just build great business plans. You have to test. You have to try to provide solutions to your customers, to improve them, and to do everything as possible to solve their problems and to sell your solutions to them. Okay? So, you will start using classic management tools the more your situation is predictable, and the less you will not stop to use the unpredictable world tools, but you will for sure use less of them because you will know, okay, what's the product, the perfect product is. Just to finish, some other essential we can say about the startup world. Okay, it's all about team. Okay, guys, and it's all about passion and determination. More of passion, determination, and unstoppability. So look for colleagues, co-founders, and people not that are yes, they have to be smart, but I would prefer an unstoppable person compared to a smart one. Okay, because startup is very tough. Okay, it's very tough. You are alone in the market, without asset, without money, okay, competing with elephants. And then, at the start, it's not a lot about marketing, okay? Marketing is more when you have to scale your business model, okay? You have to automatize the sales process. But at the start, it's more what we can imagine when we think about a salesperson, okay? So, you personally engaging with your customers and try to understand their problem and try to solve this problem, selling your solution. Okay? You don't have even time to do marketing at the start. Okay? You can't create a super brand and persuasion, communication, text. You don't even need them if you are looking for desperate people. Okay. Desperate people don't care illusions or marketing strategies. Okay, you will have time for that, but later. And then also do unscalable things. You will have time to fix anything about scalability. Okay, but you will have you have to do very fast. So optimize for velocity more than scalability at the start. Okay, then you will find product market fit. You will be able. You will have the resources, the best people to optimize and scale your business. So less than 3% probability to success for you guys and for me too, of course. But yes, it's true that 97% of startups fail. But it's even more true that more than 90% of startups don't use this approach that we talked about tonight. Okay? Everyone, as we are humans, we thought that our idea is perfect. We know very well the market and what people want, so just create this perfect product and ship it, and we will do billions of dollars. Okay, 90% of people think like that. 90% of people fail. You guys, if you can use the right approach, you have some probability to succeed. Okay, these are not stuff that I have ideated. Okay, all these lean startup approach or just common sense approach we talk about tonight come from a lot of entrepreneurial experience, investors, entrepreneurs. You can Google all the stuff that we talk about. So it's not my ideas. We just gather the best experiences to help you guys. That is our work, our job. Help you to improve your probability of success. And also, startups world sucks. It's very, very tough. Okay, you will have years, 5, 6, 7 years from your ideation phase to build $1 million company, €1 million company. Okay, it's very, very, very difficult. Okay, you will work even more than all your friends that work in consultancy, in McKinsey. Okay, you will work even during nights, during weekends if you want to succeed. So it's very tough. So don't do it just for money. Okay. Why? Because it's low probability, it's not a liquid investment. There are other ways to do a lot of money. Okay? Do this also because of money, of course, but because you have a passion for the problem you want to solve, or you can just sleep the night thinking about this solution you have in your head. Otherwise, it will be very, very tough to work years for an idea that you don't care about, or a problem that you don't care about. Go to New York and sell stocks on the market, or sales door-to-door, other things, if you want just to do great money. Also, focus is very, very important. You will have hundreds of problems or of stuff that competing for your attention. Just focus on 3-4 of them. So, who is my customer? How can I solve his problem? How can I sell? Then, if it's mandatory, maybe I also have to incorporate my company, but it is an easy job. You call an accountant and you will fix it. Or maybe I find investors. Yes, we'll try to find it, and but the more difficult task for you guys is to start make the first 100, 1,000 sales. Just focus on that. Don't focus on the logos, the Facebook page, other vanity stuff that your desperate customers don't care about. Otherwise, velocity and will kill your startup. Okay. So, some useful resource here. This is a startup guide, okay, from Y Combinator, that is maybe the best accelerator of startup in the world. And here is a training guide that we created, gathering all the best resources about startups and putting them in just one place. Okay? Then condividiamo, sì. Sì. Awesome. So guys, at the end of the story, it's just making something people love. So be happy in doing this. It's difficult, but if you love your idea, if you love the problem, if you love your customers, you will for sure be successful. You will learn a lot of stuff, and you will have a very great experience. And I hope to see you in the next months in Almacube. So I will love to help you doing business and create your startups. So apply to Startup Day, okay? Of course, if you're not scared too much about this presentation, but I try to be as honest as I can be. And then, yes, just thank you guys to And now, if we have some minutes, if you have some questions, we can try to respond. Yes.
Io ho partecipato a tutti gli incontri e ho notato che a parte quello di comunicare si parla quasi sempre di consumatori finali, anche gli esempi di eccetera. Quali sono i consigli che tu ci puoi dare per questa esperienza più invece di cioè di un settore in cui il consumatore tra virgolette non è
ma è un'azienda
okay. E in quel caso magari anche come si diceva i vari stati anche un solo cliente può fare la differenza.
Assolutamente.
E comunque è sempre un cliente da convincere, seppur grande o comunque seppur un'azienda è soltanto un cliente da convincere.
Sì. Of course.
Se magari consigli.
Sì. From a side it's more easy because you have just a couple of customers to convince in order to make the first traction. On the other side it's more difficult because usually a company has a more bureaucratic process. But I think that the best startups are B2B based, okay? So maybe you will not become on Facebook, okay? But Facebook is quite of B2B now. You will not become maybe Amazon, I don't know, but you will do. You will have a lot of traction initially because companies. It's more easy to understand company problems. No, company problems are every day about are always about cash. So I have to improve my revenues or I have to cut my costs. So if you provide to them a solution to do that, it's very straightforward to your early adopter. You have always to find the easiest customer to start, but it's they have cash to spend, so they don't care about a couple of $100. They will buy your solution more easily if they understand the solution and if they have a problem. So you don't have to be more scared about B2B. I will say that you can even be happier and more cool about it. There is a very great example of an Italian startup that is Friends. How many of you know what is Friends? No? But if you write to me, I will send to you the name of it and maybe also the story if I found that. But they started 25 years old in Rome some years ago, selling communication activities, we can say, and they just started from slides, and then they sell the slides because they sell a prototyped activity, a usable one, and then they convinced an investor because they had a couple of customers, and today they raised 20 million euros. They have 100,000 users in just 4 or 5 years. So Friends, let's take a look. It's a good B2B example. Other question, guys? Nobody? Awesome. Okay. So we'll go to have dinner, and I hope to see you. I hope that I gave you some values tonight. And if you have any questions, just feel free to write to me. LinkedIn, email, however you want. Bye bye, guys.